So, first of all, I offer pranams. Lord Sridhava Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Dandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Tridandi Swami Sri Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, Tridandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. All Vaishnavas, Geelong Basis, thank you for coming. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita is described, Srimad Bhagavatam is described, Vyas, despite compiling 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, 16 main Puranas, Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata, he was not feeling satisfied. Until Narad Muni explained why. Nayad vachas chitravaram hariyaso jagat pavitram praganati karachit. You have not described directly the pastimes of Supreme Lord. You have described about dharma, artha, karma, and moksha. Krishna bhajan is there in Mahabharata and other places, but like gears in milk, ordinary person cannot see. Who to worship, even after reading Mahabharata, not so easy to understand. Because people are like crows. Crows go to the garbage dump. Materialistic persons like to hear materialistic topics. Come, Ganga Pran, don't worry about it. So you should write another scripture, because all are not crows, they are the Paramahamsas, the swan-like devotees. And some like crows, but feathers are going a little white, like us, right? Born as crows, but anyway, some whiteness coming, a little bit. Those who are Paramahamsas, who want to become Paramahamsas, you should write a separate scripture for them. So in his maturity of God realization, by the blessing of Narad, he saw the pastimes of Supreme Lord. Not just he saw Krishna, Radha Krishna's Braj Lila, as well as all other incarnations. What he saw in this maturity of his samadhi, Bhakti Yoga Manasi Samat Panikam Apashat Purusha Pura Maya Chatad Apasrayatam Yo Samoito Jivanatmadam Trigunatakam Paropi Manite Anatam Chatkritam Chavipadite. So some jivas turn away from Bhagavan and accept this material body as themselves, but some jivas look towards Bhagavan, they go to him. So everything he saw. Then he compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, my dad's watching. Dad, one and only customer. Hey Dad, we're in Melbourne. Good to see you online. So, Vyas, he expands the pastimes of Bhagavan in this world. Without Vyasa's Bhagavatam, who would know the spotless pastimes of Radha Krishna? So that same Vyasa appeared 500 and maybe 20 years ago. What was his name, Janitai?
Sorry?
Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Yes.
He is considered the incarnation of Vyas. As Vyas explained everything, very intimate pastimes of Radha Krishna, he came again and explained especially this very intimate pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because those who do not hear the pastimes of Gauranga, who do not hear his name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, then say Barapasu Duracha. Those persons are like animals. No horns and no tails, but no goal of life besides eating, sleeping, making some children, collecting some wealth, and dying. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, first was Chaitanya Mangal. He called this book Chaitanya Mangal. But Lochan Das Thakur had written another book called Chaitanya Mangal. So some confusion was there. in deference to Lochan Das Thakur, because senior, and he called his book Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chaitanya Bhagavat, so much about the glories of Nityananda. It's meant to be the Bhagavat describing Lord Chaitanya. But Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's in Sakiras. Sakiras means under Balaram. Therefore you see in the writings of Vrindavan Das Thakur so much respect, so much glorification of Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya's glories are there, but Nityananda's maybe, especially this last section, mostly is Nityananda's glories. Therefore Krishnadas Kaviraj had to write another book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, touching mostly on Lord Chaitanya's personal mood. Because Sakiras, not too much touching Radharani's glories. If you read Vrindavan Das Thakur, there's no mention. It talks about Lord Chaitanya's prem, but what was that prem? Mostly is quiet. But Krishnadas Kaviraj, because he's Manjari Upasak, he worshipped in Madhura Ras, then so much he go into that. But this Chaitanya Bhagavat is the base. Kaviraj Goswami says, whatever I'm writing, Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the remnants of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And his mother was a great devotee. His mother was Narayani. When the Muslims were disturbing from one end and the caste Brahmanas were disturbing on the other end, why is Srivas chanting so loudly Krishna's name all night? Is God deaf? Can he not hear? Why not chant softly or in your mind? Many, many disturbances they were making from the Hindu side, the ritualistic Brahmanas. And from the other side, the Muslims were threatening Srivas, if it's too much Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, we'll take your property, we'll convert your family to Muslims and finish you. So Srivas was feeling too much like a rock in a hard place. The Muslims on one side, the Orthodox Hindus on the other side. So what to do? He took shelter of Nrsingadev and was worshipping Nrsingadev, Krishna's form which especially removed the obstacles of devotees. As he was worshipping, Lord Chaitanya came beating on the door. Srivas! Open. I am that person you are worshipping. Open the door. Srivas, out of fear, he opened the door. Lord Chaitanya went up onto his altar. The shalagrams of Vishnu he put on his lap, worship me, and showed him his four-hand form. I am that same Supreme Person. Srivas' voice choked, he offered many prayers. Bring your family members, they should also worship me. All this in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The first person Lord Chaitanya revealed himself to was Srivas Thakur. Then he said, Srivas, are you fearing? Why fear? Without my desire, no one can do anything. They say not even a blade of grass moves without the mercy of the Lord. So without me, who can do anything? You're afraid of the Muslims? I will go to the court of the Muslim king, Hussein Shah that time. I will say to Hussein Shah, bring all your mullahs, your sheikhs, your prophets, your scribes, your scholars. Bring them all. And I will challenge all of them. Can you make the trees weep in love of Krishna? Can you make the birds and bees weep for Krishna? Only I can do that. Look, starting with this small girl. Small girl was there. Her name was Narayani. She was 5 years old. Narayani, chant Krishna's name. And in front of everyone, Narayani began weeping, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Tears flowing from her eyes like rivers. Hair standing on end, all the ecstasies of Sudha Bhakti. So the first person Lord Chaitanya gave prem to was Narayani. Narayani was the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur, the niece of Srivas Thakur. So, because Narayani, she's Navadvip Basi, she's seeing all this directly and hearing from Srivas, hearing from all, so she's like the storehouse of all these leelas of Navadvip. Vrindavan Das Chaitanya Charitamrita, not touching too much. Not touching too much Gauranga's Navadvip leela. No? But Vrindavan Das Thakur so much. Because coming this whole kata, coming all this subject matter coming from his mother. No? Because she direct witness and directly living there. No? So Vrindavan Das Thakur's father, not mentioned so much, but always he give identity through his maternal line. Because mother's devotion is stronger. So Gauranga's Leela is too much important. Many people give preference to Sannyas Leela. I think, no, Sannyas Leela is the highest swelling of prema. No, Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Viharini Radha. Radha in separation from Krishna. When Krishna left for Mathura, Uddhav saw that. And Mahaprabhu in Puri mostly in that mood of Radharani. But that is not the highest mood. No, Guru Maharaj would explain all these things. No? 3 moods of Radhika, Samyogini, Viyogini, and and one more. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Anyway. Radhika meeting Krishna, Radharani in separation from Krishna, and what Radharani felt at Kurukshetra meeting with Krishna. Samyogini, Viyogini, and goodness me, I've forgotten the third one. As old age advances, brain decreases. So in Puri, Mahaprabhu tasting that mood of Radharani who always with Krishna in Braj. No? Therefore, we worship that Grihastha form of Gauranga. No? We see on the altar there he has long hair, dressed in beautiful cloth. No? Gaurahari. Many ornaments, chandan, sandalwood paste, many things. We do not worship the sannyas form of Gauranga on the altar. No? Like which form of Krishna we worship? Krishna with peacock feather, Krishna with flute, Krishna with Radharani on his left side. That form of Krishna we worship. Mathura, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in Dwarka, we do not worship. So the sannyas form of Gauranga, this is like, I must say, it's not as sweet form as the Grihastha form of Gauranga. Grihastha form of Gauranga, this is Swayam Bhagavan. And Mahaprabhu in Puri and other places, this is like a manifestation of that. So, the Grihastha form is the highest tasting of prema in Gauranga's Leela. And where he tasted in the house of Srivas Thakur mostly. So, Gauranga had not manifested himself already. He had defeated Kesav Kashmiri, who was so learned. The goddess of learning personally danced on his tongue. That time Gaurahari was almost like a child. But very easily he defeated Kesav Kashmiri. No, very easily. No, Kesav Kashmiri, when he was coming, he was so famous in all India. Digvijay Pandit, who defeated the scholars in all directions. Because he worshipped the goddess of learning, she always sat on his tongue. No one could defeat him. What to speak of defeating, no one could even understand him. So high. When he was coming, he heard the great scholars are in Mayapur. So when all the Bhattacharyas and scholars of Mayapur heard Digvijay is coming, they all ran, save their reputation. Digvijay, Kesav Kashmiri, had so many bullock carts full of books, elephants, hundreds of followers. Nimai Pandit was saying, the real result of learning is not pride and collection of wealth. It's humility, devotion to the Lord. So he was speaking like this. He was thinking how to deliver Kesav Kashmir. Without preaching most of the time as, yes, operation was success, but patient died. Right? Mostly. Yeah. We speak the right thing, but person cannot digest. Side effect. Often it's like that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very expert. How can I defeat him in such a way he does not kill himself or commit suicide? So very carefully the Lord was thinking. So Nighttime, in the full moon, Lord Chaitanya was there, surrounded by many disciples, like the moon surrounded by stars. And he was lecturing on grammar. You know, 6 angas, the 6 limbs of Vedic knowledge. First is grammar. If you cannot read and write, understand how the conjuncts, all these things work, then what meaning you'll understand from the scriptures. You know, so he was teaching this. So, Keshav Kashmiri also went there at night time, and he saw Nimai so handsome like Cupid, so intelligent like Brihaspati. Then Keshav Kashmiri felt fear. First time in life he felt fear. Then he thought, why should I be afraid of this child? When Keshav Kashmiri came, Lord Chaitanya, then he asked, Keshav Kashmiri asked someone, who is this? This is Nimai Pandit. Oh, this is Nimai Pandit. He'd heard the name. This is Nimai Pandit. When he came to Chaitanya, Nimai, Lord Chaitanya stood up respectfully. Oh, we are very fortunate. You are very learned. We have heard. No? We are just children. Grammar is the introductory. No? So before you, we cannot speak anything, but please, we heard you are a great poet. Please, we want to hear something from you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu treating him like Guru, like this much respect. Like if you pop a balloon, first you pump it up. So pump, give it a few pumps. Then Keshav Kashmiri like a machine gun. Verse after verse after verse. Ornamented language. In English we say what? Onomatopoeia, rhyming, syllables.
Something sounds like
double meanings. So much rhyme was there. Meter was perfect. Like this. First draft, like rainfall, like hails. One verse after another describing the beauty of the Ganga. Everyone. And for 3 hours he spoke. 3 hours, verse after verse. Own compositions. What to call simultaneously. Automatically. Spontaneously. Most people couldn't even understand what he was saying. The language was so high, so ornamented. And then afterwards, Lord Chaitanya, oh, Nimai said, wonderful, wonderful. No. Your poetic ability is wonderful. Especially I like the 297th verse. And Lord Chaitanya spoke that, Nimai spoke that same verse. In case of Kashmiri, astonished, I spoke like the river. How could he catch everything just by hearing? Then Nimai said, by the mercy of the goddess of learning, some people are expert poets, but some others are Shrutida. Shrutida means who hears once and never forgets. Your poetry is very wonderful, except some mistake was there. 5 good qualities, 5 fault was there. Fault, case of Kashmiri. My poetry has no fault. Nimai pointed out 5 faults. In this verse, only 12 syllables, but this last line has 14 syllables. There's a double meaning. The meaning is not clear. The subject, you've mixed with the object here twice. The first 3 lines have rhyming, but the first one is not rhyming with the set like this. 5 faults. Keshav Kashmiri couldn't even answer. He couldn't speak because the goddess of learning had run away from him. Then, you know what it's like in school when the teacher picks on some guy, your friend, and he gets it wrong. Not me, of course. But all the children, all my students, too much laughing. Ha ha ha! Great. He is defeated in front of everyone. But Nimai, so sweet behavior. No. Silence, don't say anything. Some small defect is there, even great poets like Jayadev and Chandidas. They are so much learned, but we see some mistake in their poetry. Don't look at the mistake, look at the poetic ability. So then Nimai said, oh, Pandit, we are just children, we are just joking. Actually, we could not even really understand what you were saying. So please, you come tomorrow night and teach us more. We are very eager to hear from you. So sweet behavior, so gentle. Not like that one. So gentle, so sweet behavior. Case of Kashmiri, otherwise he would have gone and killed himself. The shame. But he could not because Nimai was so sweet. Anyway, all this history we know. So Nimai became famous, Nimai Pandit. His words, his fame spread everywhere. In a very easy manner, he defeated the greatest scholar in India. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Krishna means pure Gyan Swarup. Krishna is made of pure knowledge. So for him to defeat anyone, this is not a very big thing. But in such a charming way he did. So Nimai's Pandit's glory spread everywhere. Mother Sachi was thinking, how can I marry my son? One lady told me in Mawilamba, when her daughter was born, she started crying. Why? Who will marry her? So parents always thinking, how can I marry? How can I get some good fitting bride or daughter for my son or daughter? So Mother Sachi met the daughter of Vallabhacharya, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune. Her seal swabhav, her very gentle behavior, so beautiful and high family. So Mother Sachi, through some Banamali, I think, some marriage maker, she tried to arrange the marriage, but Nimai showed no interest. Then Mother Sachi was sad. Anyway, things came to pass, the marriage was done. So her father was Sanatan Mishra, very poor. He said, I'm very happy by this marriage arrangement, but unfortunately I have no dowry to give. I only have 5 pieces of fruit. It's called Amala, Haritaki. But Nimai accepted, and marriage was done. So Lord Chaitanya gave example of Grihastha. Often we talk about sannyas and brahmachari, but Grihajana Shiksha Kanyasi Kulanayaka. Lord Chaitanya taught perfect example for Grihastha. If you want to be Grihastha, then we have to follow example of Nimai, Lord Chaitanya. If we want to be sannyasi, we have to follow that example as well. So Grihastha should earn money in proper way. Not by cheating the government and all these things. So Nimai and a Brahmin, how can earn money? 6 ways a Brahmin can earn wealth properly. Right? Teaching the Vedas, being taught the Vedas, doing puja, or doing puja for others, accepting donation, giving donation. These are the 6 activities of a Brahmin. These days, so many Brahmins. I am doctor, I am lawyer, I am this all Sudra work, actually. So, Nimai, his teacher. So, he went to Bangladesh. Actually, in Sydney, so many Bangladeshis. Millions. You cannot count them. So why Nimai Pandit went there, no? So, let me just catch this. He went to teach on the other side of the Padma River. One river there. No. He went to teach there. Word had spread. Nimai Pandit, no? Like the king of Navadvip. So many, many people came to hear from him. No? And by the Lord's grace, very quickly, news soon spread in all directions. Let me read this. Nimai Pandit Adhyapak Siromani Osya Achen Sarva Dike Hoilo Dwani. Dwani means to speak, right? Nimai Pandit Adhyapak Siromani. He is the best of all teachers. And he has come here. This word spread in all directions like lightning. Telegram, telephone, tell Shamla. What's that? Word spread. So all Brahmanas, all students, they came to hear from Nimai and learn from him. No? Coming before him, they offered their obeisances and spoke as follows. Atapriti loe sarva gostira sahite yastani navadvipiyoibe porite. A touchstone, there's a magic stone. You touch it to iron, iron become gold. Just by touch. So they said, Nimai, you are like that. We are pieces of iron. And you are the touchstone. No? if you touch us with your mercy, we can also become scholars. So, all came to study under him, all type of students. No? There is no other Murti Manta Tumi Brihaspati avatar. You are directly the guru of the demigods, Brihaspati. Right? You have that type of knowledge. No, Tuma Sadrisha Adhyapak Nahi. There is no one equal to you. We don't want to hear from anyone else, learn from anyone else. We will learn from you. But still, comparing you to Brihaspati is not proper. Your eloquence, your everything is more than Brihaspati's. That is Krishna. Such knowledge is impossible for anyone else other than the Supreme Lord. So they're feeling something. This is our feeling. Lord had not revealed himself. A little bit, but not too much. So, we have one request. Please give us knowledge. O best of the Brahmanas, hear us. We study, teach, and accept only your explanations. Right? These days, many people trying to understand Gurudev's words, but they're not that level. Everyone not have that power. Gurudev, when he first came, he would say, unless the Shiksha Guru is same level as Diksha Guru, he cannot give proper Shiksha. Because he himself don't understand. Anyway, talking about the Sakhiras thing, you don't even understand that thing. How are you going to understand all these very, very high things? No. What is the Guru Parampara? This is basic. Who is the Guru Parampara? What is their mood? You don't understand that, how you touch anything else? No? So Bhagavan arranged these type of things. No? And then we can understand who is what level of understanding. And we're too much fortunate then get proper Shiksha Guru. No? So, all of them approached Lord Chaitanya with this. No one have knowledge, anything like you. We want to learn from you. And no one else. No? So, many people come to learn. Lord Chaitanya stayed 1-2 months there. A few months there. No? So, who studied from Lord Chaitanya just after a few weeks, they got their PhDs. Such was the influence of his learning. No? So, everyone became very blissful. In this way, Gaurasunda happily enjoyed his scholastic pastimes in East Bengal. Mahavidya Goshti Prabhu Koilena Bange Padmavati Deke Prabhu Bolilena Range. Large number of students from now is Bangladesh, that time Purva Bengal, East Bengal. Now the Indian section is west and that is east. So many came. Thousands and thousands came. Can you imagine? Thousands and thousands. People from all over East Bengal, all over Bangladesh, came rushing to study under Nimai Pandit. The Lord taught them in such a merciful way that within 2 months, everyone became a scholar. Kota Sata Satijan Padavi Labia, hundreds and hundreds of students received their titles. Like these days, the surnames, like Chaturvedi or Dvivedi or Trivedi or Bhattacharya, these are all titles. These are not by birth, this is by qualification. So in just a few weeks, hundreds and hundreds of students got their titles. I guess these days they're called masters, PhDs. No? The students became blissful, they went home, new students came. Who was that?
Ekleshwara, just devotee, he wants to come on Sunday with his wife.
Cool. So, Lakshmi was doing seva while Nimai went home, but she could not tolerate the Lord's separation. She would weep, she would do seva to Mother Sachi and Thakurji seva. How much she felt pain inside. No? Lakshmi left her body in separation. It says, bitten by a snake, she left her body, but actually that snake was separation from Nimai. No? So, the devotees who were in Navadvip took her like that, performed the funeral ceremony. So all this was going on. Many students came to hear from the Lord. So this is tonight's subject. Heno samay ek sukriti brahmana eti sargrahi nam mishra tapan. Sagrahi. Sagrahi, there was one brahmana who is sagrahi. Sagrahi means who always takes the essence. Like a swan, if you mix cream and water together, the swan takes the cream and leaves the water. So a brahmana who is sagrahi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a poem called Sagrahi Vaishnava. There may be some fault in something, but who always takes the essence. What's favorable for bhajan? That is sagrahi. We are quite foolish. We mix everything. Therefore, Bhagavad says 4 types of good listeners are there. And 4 types of rubbish listeners are there in any katha. Like the bull. The bull is rubbish. Why? Everything mixed together, but the bull eats everything. He not discriminate. Plastic bags, grass. He just take everything. The bull. The jackal. In the middle of the lecture, jackal, right? When to keep quiet, you don't know. He always some foolish question and disturb the katha. This like jackal, bull. What else? Anyway, I cannot remember, but 4 types of rubbish hearers are there. And 4 types of good hearer. The swan, even topics may be a little here and there, but he always takes what's good. The essence he takes. Parrot, he's not giving his own thing, he's just speaking. Right? What he heard, he spoke. Parrot also have value. Parrot, swan, like this. So Tapan Mishra was Sagrahi Vaishnava. He always take the perfect thing. He was very simple. His name was Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra, of course, was the father of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Right? Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Tapan Mishra. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Varanasi, he stayed in the house of Tapan Mishra. When Sanatana Goswami met also there, he would stay with Tapan Mishra, so very prominent Vaishnava. So, Tapan Mishra also came, he was confused. Sadhya sadhan tattva nirupite nare, heno jan nahi tata gigyashi beyare. He was confused. What's the goal of life? How do I get there? Ganga Pran, what's your goal?
To leave this material platform.
How are you going to leave that? Go, and once you leave, where you go? What do you do? Liberation is not goal. What you do after liberation, that's the goal. So Seva to Radha Krishna. How you get there? By bhakti. What is bhakti in Kali Yuga? Many people confused. If you ask any Muslim or Christian, what is your goal? How do you get there? What is your sadhan? What is your sadhya? Cannot answer. A few years ago, we met one Muslim guy, Shia Muslim, but vegetarian. Very learned man. And he was telling me about the Quran and many things about Shia. I asked him what relationship the soul has in heaven with Allah. I never forget his face. The thought had never come in his mind. With their goal, you do some follow Islam, and you enjoy material enjoyment. Allah have no business, finished. He's just giving the enjoyment as reward. So no clear idea what is the goal of spiritual life and how to get there. Even our brothers, the Christians, right? What is Christianity? What does the practice of Christianity mean? And what does it give you? No idea. So this is one of the Brahm, 16 anatas. Sarup Brahm, not understanding who am I? Paratattva Sarup Brahm, not understanding who is the Sarup of God. Who am I? Who is God? Not understanding what is opposed to bhakti. Sometimes criticizing is also helpful for bhakti. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when you criticize someone to save religion, it's not considered a fault. When you criticize someone to save someone else, it's not considered a fault. And when you criticize someone to save yourself, these three occasions, it's not apparat to speak against someone or something. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, but many times we don't understand. What is favorable, what is unfavorable, confusion. Sometimes criticism too much save you also. Like Gurudev, when he would speak, he would not spare anyone. But that criticism purify everyone. Anyway, so many people confuse what is favorable, what is unfavorable. And sudden Surupram, many don't understand the goal or how to get there. These in Madhurya Kadambini, the 16 anatas all discussed. So this is a big one. What is my goal? How do I get there? He read many scriptures, could not understand. Like in Jayavadama, Vijay, right? Vijay asked, I very carefully study all this Nyaya, but I cannot understand what is the goal of life or how to get there. Then Babaji is shocked. Someone who read Nyaya Shastra and come with this question, this is very rare, Most people cannot think that high. What is my goal? How do I get there? So, he was confused. But he was Vaishnava. It says, Nija ishta mantra sada japa ratri dine sayas nahika chitte sadanga vihina. He was chanting Krishna mantra day and night. Day and night chanting Krishna mantra. But he could not understand what are the other limbs of bhakti. Bewildered. Therefore, Gurudev would often explain the difference between mantra and naam. Gurudev said the Gayatri mantras have power only because Bhagavan's name is there. Then they have power. So Gayatri is a little weak. It depends on the name for its strength. But name does not depend on Gayatri. So name is superior. It says, Mantra hoite hobe samsar mochan Krishnam hoite pabe Sri Krishna necharam. The mantra give liberation from birth and death, but the name of Krishna give direct seva to Radha Krishna. Therefore Gurudev would say, no Gopi is chanting Gayatri. Direct seva. So, the Brahmana was confused. The Gopal mantra, the Gayatri, where it takes me. I could not understand. He was disturbed in this way. One night, that Brahmana was very fortunate he had a dream. Not like your dream last night, right? A very nice dream. Or even my dream today at lunchtime. Remember I was telling you? No. A demigod appeared. Not who I dreamt of. A demigod appeared. I had a funny dream, I was telling you about it today. A demigod appeared, very effulgent. And he had mercy. He told many confidential topics to Tapan Mishra. Suno suno ohe dvija parama sudhir. O Brahmana, you are very grave and deep. Hear carefully. Don't worry. Nimai Pandit pas koroho gaman. You go to Nimai Pandit. Teo koiben toma sadhya sadan. He will nicely explain what is the goal of life, how to achieve it. Manusha nahi teo nara narayan. He is not ordinary person. He is Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi appeared in Satyuga. Right? Bhagavan, Narayan, and Nara means the perfect devotee. Right? Narayan. Narayan came as Krishna, Arjuna. How Lord Chaitanya can be Narayan? Question comes, where's Nara? He's Narayan, but in the mood of devotee. So he's like a combined Narayan. So that, like that. Nararupa Lila Ta Jagatakaram. He's performing his pastimes as a human being, but he is no human being. He's Bhagavan himself. Vedikopiya sakala na kohebe kar, koile poebe duk janma janmantar. Do not tell this to anyone. No. Even the Vedas cannot find this. This is what I'm telling you now. Who is Nimai Pandit? If you tell anyone what I told you, you'll suffer birth after birth. Okay. The demigod disappeared from Tapan Mishra began to weep. What good fortune, he thought. He merely went to see Nimai Pandit, the Lord. Boshia Achelya Shigora Sundar Shishagan Sohite Parama Manohar Osya Polila Vipra Prabhuda Charane Yod Haste Dandele Sahara Sadane. Joining his hands, he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, who was surrounded by his disciples. No? Vipra bole ame ati dinahina jan kripa drishta kore mo samsaramochan. I am most fallen person. Please be kind, glance on me, deliver me from material existence. Sadhya sadan tatve kichu nahi jane. I don't know really anything about the goal of life or how to achieve it. Kripa kori ama prati kohebe apani. Please explain. Like Gurudev had that Shakti. I remember when I was new person, new devotee. Gurudev 1996. Gurudev came out of his room and he just said, come with us. Madhav Maharaj, Gurudev and me. I said, oh, okay. We went in a taxi. We went to another Gaudiya Math. Then Gurudev spoke and I remember. Because a little lucky, I little knew Hindi from Bhubaneswar. Gauranga Maharaj told me, learn Hindi. Then you can preach all around India. He said that. So Gurudev spoke in 15 minutes, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. 5 types of devotee, right? Prahlad Maharaj, you have Sakam Bhakta with desire. Superior to, Dhruva Maharaj, I said Dhruva, right?
That's usually Prahlad.
So, Dhruva Maharaj, who had desire, Sakam Bhakta. Superior to him was Prahlad, who had no desire. Superior to Prahlad was Ambarish, Sudha Bhakta. Right, you're reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Right? Superior to Ambarish was Hanuman, Premi Bhakta. Superior to Hanuman is Uddhav, Premapada Bhakta. And superior to Uddhav with the gopis, Prematur. In 15 minutes, I remember, I was listening, stunning. And best of the gopis, that is Radhika's dasis, like Rupa and Rati Manjari. Their severs, even now the gopis cannot think. I remember I was stunned. Because I'm many years in Bhubaneswar, but they just bang, 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 15 minutes. It was astonishing. And I'm looking at how clear. It was like superhuman. That's nothing higher than that. I remember that clearly. So, Brahmana too much lucky. He went to Lord Chaitanya. I do not understand anything. What is the goal of life? How to achieve it? Visayadi sukh mo chitta nahi bhai. I find no happiness in this world. Please tell me how I can get some relief. Prabhu bole vipra tumar bhagya ke katha. Must be, not said here, must be Lord Chaitanya took him a little to the side. It must be, but it's not mentioned. O Brahmana, Prabhu bole vipra tumar bhagya ki katha. Who can explain your good fortune? Krishna bhajibe chaha setur sarvata. You want to worship Krishna, therefore you are very lucky. Ishvara bhajana ati durgama apa. The bhajan of Krishna is very difficult to achieve, as we are finding out every day. Yuga dharma stapi yache kore pracha. Therefore the Lord incarnates personally in every yuga to teach the principles of dharma. Chari yuga chari dharma rakite kshiti tal. He appears in the 4 yugas to teach 4 different religious principles in the 4 different ages. Then he returns to his own abode. Right? What are the 4 yugas? Ganga?
Kali Yuga. Don't know any others.
Satya Yuga, right? Satya Yuga first. Treta Yuga second. Dwapara Yuga when Krishna came. Then now Kali. 4 ages. No? He appears in 4 forms, in 4 ages, and teaches 4 dharmas. But the goal is always the same. The goal is love of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Padatanaya Saudanam Vinasayata Duskatam Dharma Samstapanataya Sambhavani Yuge Yuge. Krishna says, to deliver the pious and to destroy the miscreants, as well as to establish the principles of religion, dharma, I appear myself age after age. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke this, Lord Chaitanya spoke this verse from Bhagavatam. No, the child is not one of the 10 samskars, is giving namkaran. After 10 days or so, when the child is, then they give one of the 10 samskars, they give the child a name. So Krishna and Balaram were born 8 days apart, but still no name. Right? No official name. According to astrology, which is one of the 6 branches of the Vedas also, the pundits were which stars are there, and according to the position of the nakshatras, every star is presiding over a particular letter of the alphabet. Oh, B, your name, then the child's name, B is there presiding. Then they give the name Bhagawan or Brihaspati or Bruce or something. So a Jyotish is there. Before the child, just given an ordinary name. Like Nimai, like Lord Chaitanya when he was born, first name was village name. What is that? Nimai. Because he's born under a neem tree. Afterwards, Nilambara Chakravarti, Lord Chaitanya's grandfather, no. He comes, astrologically, his name begins with V, Vishwamba. That's his official name. So every child like that. So Krishna Balaram, when born, mother just given them like village names, Kalua Balua, black and white. No, Chagan Magan. Maharaj knows all these poetry. You hear him many times now. One Surdas, a blind poet, many poems he made in Hindi about Krishna Balaram Lila. Maharaj memorized hundreds of them. No? So Mother Yasoda singing names. These names are not in the Vedas. She's just making names. Chagan Magan. No meaning, Chagan Magan. No? Kalua Balua, like this. So first, Krishna Balaram just get names like that. But official name has to be there, no? You have any nickname when you were a kid? All have some horror. They called you at school or something.
I think I got periwinkle or something. Something lame.
We all have our dark histories.
Oh, yes.
Don't tell us, Stoke, otherwise we'll use it against you. Keep that knowledge confidential. Anyway, so Krishna Balaram, first just village name, Chagan Magan, Changu Mangu, like this. But they called this Gargacharya, the Purohit, the priest of the Yadu dynasty. So he gave these proper names. Because he have unlimited strength, his name will be Balabhadra. Because he's very handsome, he will be called Ram. Because he joined the families of Nanda and Vasudev, he will be called Sankarshan, like this. So Krishna also got his name. He's very attractive, very handsome, he will be called Krishna, like this. So Gargacharya, he made this protection. Asavana trihi isya Gred Anyugatanum Suktatastatapi Idam Krishnam Gata. This child. Let's read the full translation. This boy, Krishna, appears as an incarnation in every age. He assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. White means the incarnation. Oh, Lord Chaitanya will explain all this, no need for my commentary. Huh? Yeah, more Hamsavatar. He taught meditation to the 4 Kumaras. In 12th canto, I think it's there. He taught Hams, white incarnation. In red form, it's Yagyesh, he taught fire sacrifice in Treta Yuga. In yellow, who's the form who comes? Lord Chaitanya. And Krishna. Now, all those forms have now appeared in this blackish child. That's Dwapara Yuga, Krishna. So this is a big praman for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So, Kali Yuga Dharma Hoy Nam Sankitan Chari Yuga Chari Dharma Jivara Karan. In every age, this son, this blackish boy appears in every age to teach the Yuga Dharma. He appears in a white form, a red form, a golden form, and now all those forms have appeared in this blackish child. This is more proof that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, all incarnations reside within him. So, Lord Chaitanya said to Tapan Mishra, the Yuga Dharma for this age, Ganga, what is it? For Kali Yuga, how we achieve perfection? Kali Yuga Dharma Hoy Nam Sankirtan, chanting holy names. In this age we have not so long lifespan, not so much brain, not so much money for donations, not so much anything. No memory. So, Haribol. Easy process is given in Kali Yuga. And thank God for that. So Kali Yuga Dharma Hoy Nam Sankirtan. This is Lord Chaitanya before he manifests himself. Right? First person to Tapan Mishra. Narayana is before, but anyway. The Yuga Dharma for the age of Kali is the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Alone? No. With many Vaishnavas, especially with at least one pure Vaishnava. You have to chant with at least one pure Vaishnava, then it's called Nam Sankirtan. Why we're all chanting Nama Parad, Nama Bas. At least one person is there who can chant Sudanam. If you chant the name in the association under the guidance of pure Vaishnava, then it's called Nam Sankirtan. The four religious principles for the four ages are all meant for the deliverance of the jivas. Kritiyad Dhyato Vishnu, Tretiyam Yajatomake, Dwapayam Parichaja Kalo Tad Harikirtana. Lord Chaitanya spoke this. In Satyuga, meditation. In Treta Yuga, fire sacrifice. In Dwapayuga, Parichaja, direct seva. To the deity, Pancharatric Vidhi. No, Madhvacharya taught all this, how to worship the deity. But Kalo Tad Harikirtanat. In Kali Yuga, no other process will work. We're doing deity worship, but not properly. No matter how much we do. Some mistakes, some errors there. Who can afford ghee for fire sacrifice? No. Who can do meditation? These no processes work in Kali Yuga. The only process which works, that is Nam Sankirtan. So easy. Doesn't cost anything. All you need is lips and a pair of tongue, and a lips and a tongue. When Gurudev went to Hong Kong, it was so funny. I never forget this. No? One Chinese lady, Gurudev, my grandmother, very old. Translator was there, but I'm just doing the Chinese accent. I can't resist. Gurudev, very old. Give mercy to her. Then Gurudev said, tell her Hare Krishna. Gurudev, she deaf. Give her prasad. Gurudev, she cannot digest. But everything Gurudev said, it was can't. She's blind, can't see the deity, right? That was blind. Can't hear, deaf, can't digest. I can't remember. Gurudev said that, something like that. So Kali Yuga, we're like that. Can't do meditation because mind is crazy. Can't do yoga, cannot remember the mantras, no wealth, no time. No, cannot do deity worship. Therefore, Jiva Goswami says you do the deity worship but you don't chant Harinam, then even Achan cannot give result in Kali. Even 9 limbs of Bhakti are there, but without Harinam, they cannot give a result. So you're doing Thakurji Seva, don't forget Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. So, Ateva Kali Yug Nam Yagyasar Ar Kondama Koile Nahi Hoi Pa. The essence of all religion in Kali Yuga is Nam Yagyasar. When we do a yagya, we need a fire pit, we need a spoon, we need oblation, something to offer in the spoon, offer in the fire. So someone may say, this Yuga Dharma is also a yagya, Sankirtan yagya. In Gita, Krishna says, Yagna tad kamano lata lokayam karma bandhana. Actually in Melbourne, first class I heard of Gauranga, he spoke that verse. Anything you do which does not satisfy Vishnu through yagya, that is karma, bondage, fruit of activity, repeated birth and death. I remember that. First class, yeah. So yagya, how to satisfy Vishnu in Kali Yuga? Hari Bol, Hari Ram. Only through now. So question comes, if this is a yagya, where's the fire pit? You know this? Dr. Krishna, have you heard this?
No.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives in this Shikshastika Tika. If this is a yagya, chanting the holy name, where's the fire pit? The mouth is the fire pit. Where's the spoon? The tongue. Where's the ghee? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. 16 syllables, Mahamantra, this is the ghee. And where's the fire? That is the sevenfold result of chanting Harinam. Chetodapanam Majanam, Mahadavagni Nevapanam, Shreya Koriva Chandrika, Vitaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhivadanam, Pratipadam, Punamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayati, Sri Krishna Sankirtan. The 7 results of chanting Harinam. This is the 7-tongued fire, the 7 results of Harinam. And Shikshastik Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described all these things, no? Ateva Kali Yuga Nam Yagya Sa, the essence of all Yagya. The easy way to satisfy Vishnu is Harinam. Therefore we're offering Krishna many things, but what Krishna likes the most? Harinam. Gauravamata said Krishna is called Nam Priya Thakur. Krishna likes many things, but most thing he likes is his name chanted with affection. Still so easy, but we are really nonsense. We are not doing it. So, ar kon dharma koire nahi hoi pa. One cannot be delivered in Kali Yuga by following any other religious process. And who would want to? Ratri din nam loy koite suite taha mahima veda nahi par duti. The Vedas are unable to fully describe the glories of one who chants Krishna's names day and night, even while eating and sleeping. Suno Mishra Kali Yuga Nahi Tap Yag. Listen carefully, Mishra. There is no other austerity or sacrifice prescribed in Kali Yuga. There is no other sacrifice. There is no other austerity. One who worships Krishna is most fortunate. No, Kali Yuga, no austerity. What austerity? What yagya? Cannot do anything. Haribol, Jai Nitai. Therefore, Ateva Grihe Tumi Krishna Bhaja Giya. Go home, worship Krishna with full attention, giving up cheating. Sadhya sadhan tattva ye kichu sakal harinam sankirtan milibe sakal. By congregational chanting of the holy names, you achieve everything, including the goal of life and the means to achieve it. Right? When you achieve Krishna Prem, what are you going to do? Sureshwari? When you achieve love of Krishna, what are you going to do? Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. Like Radharani. What does Radharani do day and night? Krishna, 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 Krishna. Radharani given up everything, but she never gave up the name of Krishna. Therefore Trivikramaraj would say, Radharani, what's her life and soul name of Krishna? She is the topmost. And what are we? We are the lowest. But we can also chant Krishna, Krishna. So he said, name is for the highest, Radharani herself. Golokeda Premadana Harinam Sankirtana. What are the gopis doing? Harinam Sankirtana. And the lowest, us. It's for everyone. There it's the sadhan for all. And when you achieve perfection, Harinam becomes the sadhya, the goal. Yes, Vaishnava have very deep understanding of. Ramanujacharya said Vaishnava seva is not sadhan, it's sadhya. When you achieve perfection, you still do the seva of the Vaishnavas. But now everyone's guru. Who will do seva to Vaishnava? I am the guru. Everyone do seva to me. Not a good mood. When I first came to Gurudev, first talk, he said, what do you want? Why you come here to me? He said like, quite directly. And I said, Maharaj, I just want one thing. I just want to hear the Bhagavatam from pure Vaishnava. Then Gurudev said, oh, I want the same thing. Where will we go? And the amazing thing, he wasn't even joking. That was the amazing thing. He wasn't joking. But these days, all Gurudev disciples, I got so much Sangha of Gurudev, I don't need any more. Who's crying for Sadhu Sangha? I already know everything. One sannyasi, won't say his name, Gurudev left, someone asked him, what will you do now? He goes, I got so much Sangha of Prabhupada and Gurudev and Srila Maharaj, I'm okay. That is not a good thing. There should always be greed. How can I get? Stoke, even if you go there and die in Vrindavan, it's still better than living a million years here in Geelong. Don't worry. Have greed. Have greed.
I have greed for everything else.
No, you got to say it. Otherwise, some little attachment to some comfort and that become an obstacle.
Yes. I've got so much greed.
Don't worry. Okay, then don't look at anything else. How I get there? Nothing. What price I have to pay? You have to pay. You have to pay a price. Also, when I first came to Gurudev, all the disciples of Gauranga Maharaj came to see him. That time I had not taken initiation. I was just there. And they're asking Gurudev so many questions. Then they left. And Gurudev said to me, you are so fortunate to come directly here. And he said, you are so much fortunate to come directly here. He said, can you give your head for Sadhu Sangha? Can you give your head for Sadhu Sangha? Can you give your head? But we are. Anyway, Haribol. Yes, it's something else, but I remember that. Can you give your head? Can you give your head for Sadhu Sangha? Can you give everything? Have to be ready for that. That's the price, right? Rupa Goswami gave that comment. Prabhupada said, this Krishna consciousness is based on this one verse of Rupa Goswami. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavatamati Kriyetan Yadikuto Pilapite Tatra Lolamulam Eka Amalam Koti Janma Sakriti Nalabite. Where can I find that Krishna Bhakti Rasa? It can be purchased only by one thing, greed. No other thing is there. How can I get? You have to pay that price. Madhusudama say 100 times. You give your head 1,000 times, still is not enough. That is nothing to get even one moment association with these type of Vaishnavas. No? Many millions of obstacles. You have one obstacle, yes, we all have our own obstacles. But greed will always pull you up. No? Greed not look at anything. Greed has its own qualification. So, Harinam is goal, sadhya and sadhana. So Vaishnava Seva is not just, I do Vaishnava Seva to get something. When I achieve perfection, I will still be doing Vaishnava Seva. So Harinam is, when you achieve perfection, still Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That is always there. So it's the goal and the process. In our stage, sadhana and sadhya look like two things. We are a little immature, no? Like a green mango. But in maturity, they become one. Sadhana and sadhya. Yes, no one explained Ona Gaudiya. This all coming from where? Lord Chaitanya himself. Jayavadama very nicely examined all this, the difference between the sadhana and the sadhya. Very exhaustingly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes them. Like a materialist, what's his goal? To enjoy. How does he enjoy? Needs money, so he does a crap job he hates to get money so he can enjoy. Right? Anyway, he describes all this in Jayavadama. The karmis, their sadhana and their sadhya is two different things. For the jnanis, their sadhana and sadhya is also two different things. But for the Vaishnavas, it's one. Therefore he says this. Advaita Sid, even he goes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so bold. Advaita is the goal of prema. Prema, Madhusudana Maharaj, prema never tolerates difference. Prema always wants to be with the beloved. That is the nature of prema. So when the Shastras talk about non-dualism, they're talking about prema. So the Mayavadis understand in one way, and the Vaishnavas understand in another way. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not without reason, he's called the seventh Goswami. So, I'll just do it now as prasad. But Gurudev was sick just before he left this world, 2010. It was Janmashtami, and so he had to be in Delhi for checks. And he said this is the first time in like 60 years he hadn't been in Vrindavan for Janmashtami. Then we were all there, and then he just had so many nice singers Gurudev had, like Tapan, remember him, and Krishnadas Prabhu. And he just had them singing all these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, just one after another, like 10 bhajans. And then he closed his eyes and he said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not one drop less than Rupa Goswami. I remember that. Anyway, we're too much like him in the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, therefore, that's Saraswati Thakur. No, is so much valuable person. The writings of the Goswami he made accessible for us to this Jaivadama, Chaitanya Shikshamrita, all these songs. No? So one who's come to these teachings of Bhaktivinoda, the whole life should be in this line. No? How many times Gurudev warned, don't go to the Babajis, don't go cast Goswami. The Gurudev disciple, hearing anything, even one word of Gurudev. No? But now we think, oh, there's no one available, no one, oh, have to do this, have to do that. But this line is eternal, no, it's always there. We cannot see that thing, that is our fault. So, anyway. Sadhya sadhan tattva ye kichu sakal. This is everything in regards to the process and the goal. Harinam Sankirtan Milibe Sakal. Everything is in Harinam Sankirtan, then Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Katira Nita. Lord Chaitanya had not taken Diksha yet. He had not taken Diksha. But when he went to Varanasi, then he said, my Gurudev said, you are a foolish guy, you don't know anything about Vedanta. And he taught him this verse. But actually Lord Chaitanya already knew it. He's Bhagavan himself. So when Lord Chaitanya took initiation, then his Guru, Ishwapuri, told him this verse. But Lord Chaitanya already knew it. Bhagavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Bhagavat. No, chapter 14, Adi Leela, verse 145. It's mentioned clear as day, Mahamantra. Many Babaji's group, no need Sankirtan of Mahamantra. Bhajai Nitai Gaur, Radhe Sham, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Many things they make up. Where is Mahamantra, they say, in the writings of the Goswamis? It's there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Shlok naam boli loe Mahamantra, Solanam Batrish Akshara E Tantra. This verse is called the Mahamantra. It contains 16 holy names of the Lord with 32 syllables. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 16. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 32. Sadite ya preman kura habe, sadhya sadhan tattva janibe se tabe. If you continuously chant the Mahamantra, the seed of love of God will sprout, that is Bhav Bhakti. You will then understand the goal of life and how to achieve it. No? Prabhu Srimukh Shiksha Suni Vipravar Puna Pranam Kore Bahutar. After hearing these instructions from Lord Chaitanya's mouth directly, the best of the Brahmanas, Tapan Mishra, did Dandavats again and again. Please allow me to stay with you, right? Let me come back and be with you in Navadvip. Lord Chaitanya said, no. You go to Varanasi. You should go immediately to Varanasi. I will meet you there and explain to you the truth about the goal of life and the process to achieve it. So, the Lord embraced him, and out of ecstatic love, the hairs of Tapan Mishra stood on end. That is the speciality of meeting Lord Chaitanya directly. No need sadhan bhajan. Whoever saw him from a distance got prema. And Madhurya Kadambini says, no, but we appear after Lord Chaitanya. that same prem we can get, but we are unfortunate. We have to do the sadhan, like Purushottama, don't eat this, don't eat that, Chaturmasa, Mangalati. We have to do all these things. But in Chaitanya Lila, whoever saw him even from a distance, no need sadhan bhajan, nothing. They could get that prem just by seeing Lord Chaitanya, like the animals and trees in Jharkhand. What sadhan bhajan they're doing? Nothing. They just see Lord Chaitanya. They got that thing, you know. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced, he got prema, so what he could not understand about anything. The goal of life. Wow. Tapan Meshra Paye Vaikunta Nayaker Alingan, he felt the spiritual ecstasy after receiving the embrace of the Lord of Vaikunta. No. When Lord Chaitanya departed, he caught hold of the Lord's feet and he told everything about the dream of the Brahmana who said everything. Lord Chaitanya said, what you saw in the dream is true. Do not tell this to anybody. No. And at auspicious time, Lord Chaitanya smiled, got up, and went back to Navadvip. No. So Tapan Mishra, no. The Lord returned home like an ordinary person. Everything he received as gifts, he gave everything to his mother. His father had already left. Lord Chaitanya, I'm giving an example. Right, Ganga Pran, taking notes?
Yes, you have to look after your mom.
Serve mother and father. Lord Chaitanya doing, right? He's God, right? He's giving example for everyone. How to be perfect son, how to be perfect guru, how to be perfect disciple. Anyway, we cannot be perfect like him, but at least try. Okay. So nice instructions, this Tapan Mishra. So Tapan Mishra went. Of course, he was already married. He had a son, Raghunath Bhatta. No. All the Goswamis gave up everything. Rupa, Sanatan, Jiv Goswami, Gopal Bhatta left home. All Goswamis left their parents and went to Vrindavan. Except Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Bhatta, no, you serve your parents. No. Tapan Mishra and his mother, they were living in Varanasi. And when your parents, Haribol, then you come to me. So Lord Chaitanya not giving same instructions to everyone. No, Gauranga explained two types of instructions. Savakalik, which is for everyone at all time, all place, all circumstance. But disciples should also get some personal instruction. You do this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also not same brush painting everyone. Specific instructions for everyone. No. So Kali Chela is watching. I hope he comes. I wrote to him. Remember this guy who married the Nepali lady? He has two children.
Yeah.
I met him in Adelaide 30 years ago. He will write to me now if he's watching this.
Okay.
He lives in Melbourne. Last time he came.
Oh, he lives in Melbourne. Oh.
He came. So if you're seeing this, Prabhu, forgive me. So try and come tomorrow night or Sunday night. Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki. Any question from the people? So, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna.